People in America that believe that Trump was the greatest thing from sliced bread to happen to the economy since sliced bread, that Trump is the greatest economical president in American history, they're idiots. They're buffoons. They're dim-witted fucks, uneducated bastards. At the end of the day, Trump, and I apologize for using explicit words, but 10 years of Trump and then 4 more years of his second term is going to exacerbate me. So I apologize if I sound vulgar with my language, but he deserves it. So I don't give a damn either way. At the end of the day, Trump's first term in office, he inflicted tariff wars against Canada, Mexico, Japan, South Korea, France, Germany, China. His global tariff wars in his first administration is what caused all the imports that came into this country to start raising the prices on all commodity goods. He's the one that spawned off American inflation when we went to buy things off the store shelves. It was Trump with global tariff wars under his first term that started pricing to go up of all American imports into this country from abroad with his global tariff wars. And then he was asking the Federal Reserve to print money with negative interest. So he flooded cheap money into the markets to compensate for the prices of commodity, limited commodity goods that came into this country with high tariff prices. Because of his global tariff wars, nations abroad imported their goods into America by increasing their commodity goods. So Americans experienced sticker shock because of Trump tariff wars when we went to buy anything off the store shelves. So, and then, like I said, he asked Chairman Federal Reserve Powell to print negative interest. So they flooded negative interest money into the markets, chasing limited commodity goods that were already experiencing tariff prices increased in American store shelves. So idiots that fucking think that Trump did anything for the economy that was great are dim-witted pendejos that don't understand economic principles. America is full of dim-witted people. I hate to admit it, but American citizens are busy working 9-to-5 jobs. They don't educate themselves enough, and they have the slightest clue how to discern truth from fiction when it comes to the media, the news media outlets. Like Fox that likes to panhandle to Trump and thinks that Trump is the best thing for the economy since sliced bread, which is idiotic. At the end of the day, these conservative dim-witted mega supporters think that Trump's economy was the glory days of America, which is buffoonic to think that. So at the end of the day, Trump's first term in office in 2016 to 2020, with his global tariff wars, he tariffed Canada, Mexico, Japan, South Korea, France, Germany, China. So all of these countries had to increase their prices of their goods imported into America. So that's when Americans first noticed hyperinflation. Or may I say inflation. But when Trump started begging the federal or demanding the Federal Reserve to print negative interest, now you have cheap money chasing limited goods with higher prices. And so that's also contributed to increasing the prices, because you got cheap money chasing after limited commodities with high tariff prices already inflicted on these imports. So now you're asking the Federal Reserve to print up negative interest money to compensate for it, which makes the prices worser and increase. So you're exacerbating and you're adding to the increasement of the inflationary prices of American commodity goods on our store shelves. That's what Trump did in 2016 to 2020. And then Corona epidemic happened to push us off the economical cliff. Because then there was all the global economy came to a crawl. So now you have supply chain issues globally. So there's less goods going around the world, which also exacerbated American inflation. But when you add all this under the Trump term, Trump started inflation before Corona in America when he engaged in tariff wars. Every country that imported goods to America had to increase their prices of their imports into America. So that price got inflicted onto the consumer with higher pricing. Is inflation or tariff imports into America increase in pricing because the importers of foreign nations have to compensate for the extra price. So they have to increase their commodity good pricing when they import it into America to compensate for the tariffs, to deflect the higher incurred goods in other words, for your dim-witted fucks, if you import something into this country and you get a 50% tariff or 100% tariff on your goods, now you got to compensate for that 100%. So now you're going to have to increase it beyond 100% to 150% when you import your goods into America. So now you used to pay 100% less as an American citizen, but now you're paying 150% more. Y'all get this, you got dim-witted Americans that think that Trump is the best thing to happen to our economy. Y'all get this, y'all dim-witted fucks. Y'all don't get it? But Trump did that in his first term in office. Everything that came into this country, we pay higher prices because of his tariff wars. As simple as that. And then asking him to ask the Federal Reserve to print negative interest money, to flood the market with cheap money, chasing limited commodities that are already experiencing sticker shocks of higher prices because of tariff wars. That also raised the prices further. Y'all dim-witted fucking mega fucks. Dim-witted fucking supporters of Trump. How can that be good for the economy, the American economy? Now Biden inherited Trump's fiasco economically as far as his tariff, inflations that brought everything up sky high pricing. Biden brought it back down. The Federal Reserve called it easing the economy back down softly, a soft landing that Biden did. He was able to stabilize it from breaking out into hyperinflation and to a depression. Biden was able to bring the economy back down to a soft landing. But it was Trump that caused everything to go sky high. And for y'all dim-witted fucks that think that Trump is the best thing to the economy since sliced bread, y'all idiots. Y'all dim-witted fucks to begin with. So at the end of the day, and I'm sorry if I use explicit, but I'm pissed off because Trump made it into the White House for a second term. And the people's excuses is because Trump is best for the economy, which it infuriates me. For dim-witted people to not understand reality. So at the end of the day, Trump global tariffs is what brought upon higher prices on commodity goods. And then asking the Federal Reserve to print negative interest, flooding cheap money, chasing limited commodity imports with higher prices because of tariff wars. Now you're asking the Federal Reserve to print negative interest to chase these expensive prices of imports that are already high because of tariffs, because of Trump tariff global war, economical war. And now Trump acts in the first term, he asked Chairman Powell to print negative interest. So now you're flooding the markets with cheap money to keep up with high prices of imports because they're sticker shocked because of Trump inflicting global tariff wars. And it was Corona that exacerbated the situation and pushed it off the cliff. So by the time Biden stepped into the office, he had been his whole 4 years of being the president. It was to bring the economy down to a soft landing without it breaking out into a Great Depression or into a hyperinflation, runaway inflation. Biden was able to calm down the engines of the economy as far as pricing to bring down to a soft landing and stabilize the economy. Now you got Trump for a second term, and Trump is going to pick up where he left off. He's going to pick up where he left off economically. He's going to start tariffing the Eurozone, tariffing Canada, Mexico, China, South. He's going to start his global tariff because Trump is dim-witted to begin with. He never educated himself in Warren School of Finance because he was busy playing baseball in college as a jockey. He never took economics serious, and his father paid his way through college because he had deep pockets, his father. So Trump graduated because his father can pay tuition handsomely. But Trump thinks that the magic wand to economic issues, because he's a Neanderthal, he doesn't know real economic theory. He thinks that tariffing the world is his magic wand. This time around, because of the conflict with Europe and Ukraine, and Trump taking Putin's, undermining NATO. Trump is going to undermine NATO. Trump is going to start tariffing Europe. And Europe is going to start to divest themselves from the American dollars, along with the BRIC members. So now you're going to have the European Union free themselves up from the American currency under a second Trump term, with Trump inflicting tariff wars on the European Union. So now you're going to start to experience prices go up again. The commodity goods prices go up again for for nations to import their goods into America. Now you're going to experience again hyperinflation, or may I say increased runaway inflation. And at the end of the day, you're going to realize, you're dim-witted Trump supporters, that it was Trump that fucked up the economy in his first term, and he's going to drive us back again to hyperinflation with his tariff wars, because he's a Neanderthal. He never studied in school. He was too busy playing baseball and partying. His father paid his way through college with deep pockets. So Trump thinks that by being a servant of tariffing the world with his magic wand, that somehow that's going to make America rich again and great again economically, which is an idiot way of thinking. Because tariffs is a taxation on consumers. When we go to buy products that are increasing in price, because the nations that import these products into America has to compensate for the higher tariff pricing, so they increase the prices of their goods when we buy it as Americans on our store shelves. That's what happened under the first Trump term from 2016 to 2020. Now that Trump won for a second term for 2024 to 2028, now you're going to start to notice again the prices go up. And y'all can't blame Biden, because it wasn't Biden's fault to begin with. It was Trump's fault. And now you're going to be caught off guard. And y'all dim-witted mega hat supporters that are low IQ are going to start to realize that it was Trump that fucked up the economy to begin with in 2016 to 2020. And it's going to be Trump again to fuck up the economy from 2024 to 2028. Now Europe is going to debase and free themselves away from the American greenback as the world reserve status currency. Europe is going to start to, with Trump tariffing the European Union, after rubbing salt in the wound of abandoning NATO when it comes to Ukraine, Europe has a bad taste in their mouths when it comes to Trump. And they're going to start to experience higher prices when European goods come into America as imports. America is going to start to experience higher prices of European goods coming into America. And it's going to be passed on to the consumer, the higher prices. And what, you're going to blame, Fox News is going to blame Biden for it? Yeah, piece of shits. At Fox News, you're going to blame Biden for it. And try to make Trump look presidential. And now, so the BRICS members are going to start to decouple from the world reserve currency. the petrodollar, which I'm for, to tell you the truth, when it comes to global affairs for the global south. I believe in a multipolar world economic system. But Trump, I just had to point the truth to the Trump supporters when it comes to Trump first term in office from 2016 to 2020. Economically, as a theologian, I got to paint a clear picture for these dim-witted fucks, mega citizens of Trump supporters, because they think that, oh, Trump is the best thing that ever happened to the American economy. They're too busy working as low IQ people to not understand how the economy was fucked up under the first Trump term. So at the end of the day, now Europe, once Trump abandons Ukraine and start to tariff the European Union, now Europe is going to increase all the prices of their goods imported into North America. And along with China, because you got to understand, Trump obsesses over tariffing China. So now the prices of China is going to be more expensive coming into America. Trump might antagonize South Korea economy or Japan. So now Japan and South Korea are going to start to increase their prices of imports into America, North America. And now the BRICS organization going to capitalize on that. And they're going to start to hasten the fall of the dollar by decoupling the world reserve status currency of America. So now under Trump, they're going to experience real hardships of economics for his second term. And don't y'all dare blame it on Biden. Don't y'all dare blame it on Biden. It was Biden that had a soft landing from Trump lunacies of tariff wars. So at the end of the day, now the European Union is going to start to raise the prices of everything, of their European goods coming into North America. And they're going to be incentivized to decouple from the American reserved currency. So now, y'all dim-witted Trump supporters, y'all can keep on supporting your leprechaun trolling the world's coffers with tariffs, thinking that that's the magic wand, how to make America rich again. And y'all gonna push this country into hyperinflation again. And I won't be surprised if y'all experience a Great Depression, greater than the first one. That happens in the 1920s and 30s. So at the end of the day, like I believe in decoupling from the petrodollar and decoupling from the world reserve status of American currency. And yes, that would devaluate America's economical power and grip over the whole world. But I believe in a multipolar economic system. So I believe in multipolar economical representation of the global South. So at the end of the day, that within itself can hasten the fall of America's purchasing power on the global stage. But it's all for the greater good of the global South, including Europe and America, North America. They will still have their own union currency. But I feel, as an economic theologian, a better distribution for the global South or the third world nations. So for that reason, I believe in decoupling from the American reserve hegemonic currency over the world. But you can do it in such a way that it doesn't shock America. Trump can't brag to be the shit of the economy in the American history like he's taking credit that there's never been an economical moment in American history like me, that I made America rich again. I made America prosperous again. At the end of the day, he's a con artist, and I'm calling him out for what he is. And with his tariff wars and him double crossing the European Union and NATO, it's going to come home to roost economically. So now Europe imports into North America is going to be expensive. Asia imports into America is going to be expensive. Canada, Mexico imports into America is going to be expensive. So now, dim-witted mega supporters are going to experience a higher pricing again. And what Trump is going to force the Federal Reserve to print negative interest is just going to exacerbate the pricing of commodity goods. And will maybe a second time around. You know how they say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That's what Trump supporters are going to be telling themselves when they walk into the stores to buy anything off the store shelves.